Elusive Planet X. Well, it's much closer to us than previously believed. This is what new evidence shows. It's been 3 years since researchers from CALTECH proposed that our solar system is missing a super-Earth orbiting our sun at mammoth distances of up to 800 astronomical miles. Well, we've already found a brown dwarf star at about 45 to 60 astronomical units. This one here, the mammoth distance is up to 800 astronomical units. They say our new efforts, both theoretical and numerical, suggest that in the original paper we overestimated the parameters of Planet 9. This is according to Konstantin Batygin from Caltech, as he explains. He's the assistant professor. He, with his professor, were the ones who discovered this elusive Planet 9. They call it Planet 9, so they wouldn't call it Planet X, X for the unknown. Nibiru, we would call it Nibiru, the binary star, the brown dwarf, the black star, whatever you want to call it, the gremlin, the whatever, it's there. And it's about at least 10 times bigger than Earth, from what they estimate. As this ancient code article reveals, since the existence of hypothetical planet that's been announced, because of the perturbations in the planets of the outer planets of our solar system, even the sun is tilted 6 degrees. Can you imagine? Even the sun has tilted 6 degrees. But the huge planets, Jupiter and Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, they've all tilted. And not only that, they've become hotter. And that goes as evidence that something is making them change their orbits and creating this friction or this change in frequency and vibrations that's causing something in their internal structure to increase temperature. So, since the existence of the hypothetical planet has been announced, astronomers around the world are searching the outermost edges of our solar system in order to find this mysterious alien celestial body. And until now, we have only found but small pieces of the puzzle hinting at it. Caltech, Michael Brown, professor of the Caltech, he's the professor of Batygin. He says, although this analysis does not say anything directly about either Planet 9, whether it's there, it does indicate that the hypothesis rests upon a solid foundation. Now, 2 brand new studies have been released, and they present new evidence that the planet is real, and claims that the elusive world will officially be found in about 10 years, the most. They estimate between a period of time between 3 and 10 years. 10 years is being pessimistic, they say. The new scientific paper presents new details about Planet 9, and according to one paper, the super-Earth is located at between 400 and 600 astronomical units away from us. An AU is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. And it's as much as 5 times the mass of our planet. Well, some say 5, some say 10. Now, also dubbed Planet X, Giant Planet 5, or Planet Next, or Binary Star, or Nemesis, or Nibiru, or Goblin, or Hercolibus. Astronomers, Hercolibus is what they call it in Latin America. Astronomers suspect this mystery world exists, even though we still have not been able to observe it directly. Others say that we are seeing it. Well, the thing is that most people do not watch the skies. Others do, and they see various anomalies. And let's remember that one of the prophecies in the New Testament, we will see signs in the skies. Also, the ancient Egyptians told an ancient Greek lawmaker, Solon, who told his student, Plato, that every once in a while there is a huge planet that comes very close to our solar system, close to us at Earth, and creates havoc and chaos and catastrophes on Earth. And that was one of the passages of that planet that caused the sinking of Atlantis. Actually, there were many islands that sunk and then re-rose and sunk and rose. Atlantis sunk and rose twice, and the third time it sunk, it did not come up. Whereas the same thing happened to the island of Rhodes in the Aegean Sea of Greece, and that did stay up. Everybody in Greece knows that. Now, because of the ancient writings, it's been recorded there. So you can imagine the destruction, the disasters, the catastrophe, to have whole continents and islands sinking and rising and sinking and rising as if they were corks floating on a piece of water, on some water, and somebody's pushing them down and they come floating back up again. That's unbelievably, I'm flabbergasted, yes, astonishing. Now, some of these objects, dubbed trans-Neptunian objects, are located beyond the farthest gas giants and within the so-called Kuiper Belt. In the past few years, astronomers were able to identify wobbles in the orbits of the solar system's distant objects, meaning our big planets, and infer that this is due to the presence of a massive yet undiscovered planet. Well then, if it's massive and yet undiscovered, it's got to be a lot bigger than Jupiter and Saturn. In this CALTECH drawing, when they have the planets to scale, on the left you'll see Mercury, Venus, and Earth, and Mars, and on the far right you see planet 9. Obviously, there must be some mistake, because how can such a tiny planet compared to Jupiter and Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune cause their perturbations? That's just my Twitter mind and my logic. So, Kuiper Belt, and they say it's the past few years they've been able to identify wobbles in the orbits of the solar system, distant objects, and it could be due to the presence of a massive undiscovered planet. I agree with that. The first paper concerning Planet 9 has been published in the astronomical journal Science found the chances of the existence of Planet 9 1 in 500. Well, how would they know? It could be 1 in 10 or 1 in 2. Now, the second paper, published in Physics Report, takes a look at the size of this elusive massive planet, and according to experts, the planet is most likely located much closer to the Sun, and that is probably between 400 to 600 astronomical units from Earth. 1 AU equals the distance between the Earth and the Sun. And the size of this Planet 9 is also thought to be much smaller than previous estimates. Again, if it's much smaller, then how would it cause the perturbations of the outer planets, which are huge compared to Earth, and to itself, and also cause it to heat up? So those questions still remain. And at 5 Earth masses, Planet 9 is likely to be very reminiscent of a typical extrasolar super-Earth, says Battigan. He says it is the solar system's missing link of planet formation. Over the last decade, surveys of extrasolar planets have revealed that similar-sized planets are very common around other sun-like stars. Planet 9 is going to be the closest thing we will find to a window into the properties of the typical planet of our galaxy. The prospect of one day seeing real images of Planet 9 is absolutely terrifying. Well, that was my Freudian slip. Electrifying. This is what Battigan said. And he says, although finding Planet 9 astronomically is a great challenge, I'm very optimistic that we will image it within the next decade. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not certainly on not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.